So I'm here with my friend Tim Mooney, and great young man, just got married, and we're just doing a series of testimonies of things that God has done and teaching moments. And about 3 weeks ago, Tim just shared with me a story from his childhood that's just been resonating with me ever since. And it just really spoke to me about the power of celebration. And yeah, I just asked him to share it with all of you. Tim, why don't you tell me the story?
Okay. I think the story that I shared with you, Pastor Nigel, was basically in my childhood. There was a period where we got to a point where money became very tight because my dad decided to leave his job, pursue entrepreneurial ventures, and none of them worked out. Every single venture sort of fell apart to the point where my dad actually began to do online tutoring to people trying to learn English. So my father now, with this massive degree and all this corporate experience, found himself without a job for 6 years. And basically, long story short, that got us to a point where there was about 6 months left of finances for the family. At that point, we had just adopted my cousins, and it wasn't looking pretty. One of the most significant things in that period was my father really developed this culture of celebration, this culture of, what are we going to find to, have a good time, because, as Christians, we believe that the joy of the Lord is our strength, in spite of circumstances. So the one day my father came home, and mind you, he has kids that are in varsity. Varsity's not paid, cars are not paid. It's not the prettiest situation. But he comes home this one day, and he just shouts, like, guys, what do we have to celebrate? Like, is there anything, like what did you learn at school, to our youngest brother, or to the two in varsity? Like, what did you guys learn? And my one brother says, I learned to cut wood at class because he was doing some carpentry thing. My youngest brother says he learned some new math sum. And my father responds to all of us, like, that's good enough. We're going to go celebrate. I think from that point on, I was seeing how my dad responded to that tough financial situation. It really changed my perspective that when life is tough, or when finances are tough, or when it was just a bad day, this is all the more reason for me to celebrate. That was basically.
And do you think that shifted the culture in your family?
Oh, 100%. Whether good or bad, we celebrate. Yeah.
Come on. I just love what you said, that did your dad say this, or it's just something you threw in, the joy of the Lord is our strength?
I don't think he necessarily said it intrinsically, but it was something that he embodied.
It's so interesting because so often I come across Christians who their attitude is like, if you don't have joy, if you're going through a hard time, you've got to be authentic.
Yeah.
And so, they don't want, they don't want to pursue joy because they want to be authentic. But I've often said to people, fake joy is better than genuine depression.
That sounds about right.
And the thing is, I just love the fact, it's actually what your father did there was he pursued a perspective shift for him and his whole family.
Yeah.
And did the breakthrough come?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Much bigger than we could have anticipated, to the point where the breakthrough came 6 months before COVID hit. So my family actually wouldn't have survived COVID had that time not been perfect. So we knew it was God's hand. Yeah.
Wow, come on. Thank you, Lord. So good. Tim, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing that with us. And I just want to encourage you. And as we go into December, as we go into this season, one of the things that the angels came and spoke over Jesus was joy to the world. And this is part of the heart of our gospel, is that Jesus is joy to the world. Yeah. And no matter how dark the night is, no matter how challenging the year has been, no matter how faith challenged you are looking ahead, Jesus is joy to the world. And so I want to encourage you to press into your reasons to celebrate. Find them, even if it's as simple as learning how to cut a piece of wood.